Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. So in this video we're going to go through exactly how to host your WordPress website using high frequency servers just like the professionals. I'm sure many of you will know that there's just so many options out there for hosting your WordPress website, but what's the best? For the past 11 years I've been a web developer and I've always been looking for the next best thing when it comes to hosting your website, because ultimately if I'm hosting clients' websites for them, I want them to be robust, always online, and never go down. So over the past few years I've been perfecting my method of hosting WordPress websites in the fastest way possible and the most economic way possible, and that really comes down to three different things: the high frequency servers that we would host the websites on, having multiple websites on one server that you own yourself, none of this shared hosting you would see on the likes of GoDaddy and other domain providers that give you like a one-click install. This is a professional service that will really transform the speed of your website for you and your customers. So sit back, hopefully you will enjoy this video. I have designed this breezy WP service with you guys in mind, so hopefully you'll learn a few things and enjoy the video. Just before we get started, if you could do me a huge favor and please press the like button. Apparently it helps out a lot, and obviously you can see quite a small channel, putting in a good bit of work, especially like 4 or 5 months to get this service up and running. So hopefully you'll enjoy it and it'll be worth your while. So if you could press the like button, that'd be great. So this is breezywp.com. So this is the service I've been working on for the last 4 months, and basically what it does is give you the tools to set up your server, as many WordPress installs as you like. I'll actually go through the features now. So we'll just scroll down. This is the homepage of the breezywp website, breezywp.com, and it'll give you the main points or the main features of this service. So this is high frequency, so that means that if you can imagine playing a computer game on an old computer, it's not going to run very fast, but if you have a latest gaming computer with a great graphics card and all the rest of it, it's going to run really fast, but at the same time it's still called a computer. So what I like to call this is the high frequency web servers out there that are able to crunch through the data way faster than the standard stuff you would get. And that means that there's over 3 gigahertz per CPU. So I've also developed a one-click migration, so it's super simple for you to migrate from another service to this one. Again, I'll go through it, maybe not in this video, but maybe the next one straight away, to give you a super simple way of moving your website from one place to breezywp. Free SSL certificates, so that means that you're going to have a secure website through one click of a button, and it'll just install it automatically for you. Now we're also going to support Cloudflare. Now that's going to be another video. You'll see a pattern going through here that there is lots to go through on this service, and there's lots of great features to make sure that your WordPress website is not only secure but as fast as it can be for the money. So again, secure by default. So our servers are automatically updated for you, so no out-of-date servers. Uses the latest database technology and cutting-edge technology that's always up to date, for such as PHP, MySQL. If you care about this kind of stuff, have a wee read through the features. A super simple dashboard. So I had in mind, what was I like? It was, as a beginner, I really wanted to be taught to a certain degree, but also led on how to do things, and I feel like this is how I've built this service. This is the best way you can host a website, especially with your own server and all the rest of it, but I didn't really want to get into the nitty-gritty of looking at a command line and having to type things that I've googled. This is all tried and tested, and it's how I've been hosting websites now for about 3 years. I couldn't recommend it more. Next is NVMe solid state storage, local storage for that. So a lot of these servers have offsite storage, and also there's 3 levels to storage. So one being hard drives on the magnetic disks, and the next one's being SSDs, which are the solid state drives, and the level above that is the NVMe solid state local storage. So it's the fastest you can get. So next is pricing, and I've given you 4 different server levels, so SVR1, SVR2, SVR3, SVR4. And that basically, the main takeaway from these areas are the top 3. So they're all going to be high frequency, but it'll say how much RAM, so 1 gigabyte of RAM here on the left, and 1 CPU for SVR1, and that comes with 32 gigabytes of NVMe storage. So you'll see as you go up, you get 2 gigabytes of RAM with 1 CPU. Now these are all the 3 gigahertz CPUs, so very fast. The next is 4 gigabytes of RAM and 2 CPUs, and then 8 gigabytes of RAM and 3 CPUs. All the storage goes up, so you can obviously host more websites, or maybe you just need more storage for that server. I do recommend Server 2. It gives you enough power to really go through, you know, a good basic and intermediate website. But if you do find yourself needing more power, that say you've high volumes of traffic, you know, get in touch, or we can upgrade you to higher bandwidth servers. Okay, you can register at the top right hand side of the screen. All we need here is your name, your email, and password and confirmation. As soon as you register, you'll be directed directly to the server page where you can create your first server. I'm already registered, obviously, because I created it. And this is the dashboard. So as soon as you get in here, you'll see the 3 main, or you'll only see the 2 main areas at the top. Billing is for when you've got an account with us, or when you've purchased a server, and you'll be able to see all your billing details, change any kind of billing details, see invoices, all that kind of good stuff. So the main thing that you need to see here, obviously we don't have a server yet, is to create your first server. All you have to do here is actually just name your server, anything that reminds you of what's on that server. So app server 1. So we're going to choose SVR1 for this demo, and next we're going to go server location. So server location is so important. If your customer base is US based, make sure your server is in the US, because it's going to make it so much faster for those people in the United States to access that server, because it's going to be physically closer to them. So you'll see there's so many different options here for all over the world, from Toronto, Tokyo, Dallas, London, Amsterdam. So we'll go with London. So that's the SVR1. We've got 1 gigabyte of RAM, 1 high frequency CPU and high frequency RAM with 32 gigabytes of local storage. So we're going to go create, and this will transfer us over to a sign up process. Obviously this is a monthly subscription for your server. So once your payment goes through, you'll be back to the thank you page, which is the congratulations on your new server. Your server is going to be building right now. So if you go back to your servers, you'll see app server 1 is now building. So this can take up to about 15 minutes, because we're not taking a website or a server that already exists. We're creating one for you, and that's what I really want to get across here. This isn't a big bundle of websites that are on a server that already exists, and you're just getting your website plopped into the middle of an ocean of other websites. We'll cut back when this is ready. Okay, so now that looks like our server is now ready. The building icon will have disappeared from this section of the website. You can then click into it and see all the details, server location, the current PHP version. This will be able to be updated at a future date. The server size that you've chosen, the IP address, we'll need that in a little bit. The date that the server was created. The current websites on this server, currently none at the minute, so we can create our first website soon. And SSH and SFTP keys. Now these keys are for logging in manually directly into the files of the server if you need that. And again, another video will be coming on this section showing you how to use files in it and that kind of thing. So how do I get a WordPress website up and running from this now that I have a server created? So first thing we're going to need to do is buy a domain. If you already have a domain name, you can kind of follow along on the website that you used, because most of them are very, very similar. So hopefully you'll be able to find your way to the DNS settings. I'll try and teach you the best I can. So the domain registrar that I use is called Namecheap. So I'm going to go namecheap.com, and I'm going to use or buy a domain name called domaintesting.xyz. It could be .com, but usually XYZ is very cheap. So it's just looking for it. It looks like someone already has that. We'll just say breezy testing. Okay, add the cart. It's only 72p for the year. So this is probably the cheapest way to buy a website or a domain name anyway. We don't need to auto renew. I'm going to confirm that order. Don't think I need anything else. Okay, that's my order. So I'm just going to go ahead and check out with PayPal, and I'll meet you on my dashboard. Okay, that's all gone through. You can see here that my domain name breezytesting.xyz is now in my account. I'm going to go click and manage. So we're currently using the Namecheap basic DNS server, so that means that anything that we do here will reflect on the domain name. So what we need to go straight to is advanced DNS, and here we can add in our A record for our domain name. So there's these two domains or current records here which I don't actually need. So if I go delete and delete, this might be different on your registrar, but for me all I need is an A record, and I'm going to put in an @ symbol, and that means that basically it's this domain name. So an @ symbol goes in there, and next we're going to go back to Breezy WP, get our server IP address. We can copy it using the wee copy button here, and paste that in here, and then click the wee tick on the right hand corner. And that's it for there. If you do want to add in a www, so we can just put in, instead of the @ symbol, we can put in www. And I'll teach you in a wee second how to add both of these at the same time as a site. Okay, very good. What we're going to do now is copy the domain we just purchased, and then go back to Breezy WP. This is our server. If you can remember, we created the server. I'm going to go create site, and our domain name that we just purchased is breezytesting.xyz, but also we'd like to put in the www version of that domain, so www.breezytesting.xyz. Just remember that you'll need to put in both A records in here pointing at the domain name, or not the domain name, the IP address. So we're going to go submit. And what that's going to do is start creating your website behind the scenes, also your database, install WordPress, and then it'll all bundle up together and be done for you. So hopefully once this finishes, it usually takes about, I would say, a minute to do all that. We can then just go straight into the site and it should be ready for us. Okay, now that we have everything set up, so that's the server, we've installed the website using the domain name that we require or that we want, and we've purchased the domain name on Namecheap. Now, for me at least, if I click this isn't going to work straight away, and that's because domain names aren't an immediate thing. So it takes a while for domain names to get out there into the world. So I'm going to leave this for maybe half an hour and come back. But if you already have a domain name, that should work straight away. Your WordPress install guide should come up, and you could be able to go ahead with it. But I'll cut back in about 30 minutes and we'll be able to pick up from there. So I'm back. It actually only took about 5 minutes or so that's not too bad, but your registrar might be different. So as soon as we click on the Breezy testing URL, this is my domain name, your domain name will be there, just like this. You will get the WordPress install. Now this is super simple. You would find your language, so there's UK for me, and then you would give your site a title. So let's call it Breezy Test, Ryan, and there's my password. This site will be gone before you know it. Getfindni.co.uk. So from here we just go ahead and click install WordPress. This can take maybe 30-40 seconds, but usually it goes through no problem at all. Okay, that's our WordPress website created. So you'll have created your own username and your chosen password. You can go ahead and log in. I'll go ahead and Ryan log in, and there it is, WordPress. That's simple. You can kind of see how quick that is as well. You know, it's not often you get to go on a shared hosting website and be able to click through, you know, whatever it is this quickly without having to wait, you know, 3 or 4 minutes for things to happen. And just to prove actually to you that you can create as many WordPress websites as you want, we'll go ahead, we'll go back to the server current site. So the create site button is now at the top right hand side here. So obviously our domain name is XYZ. Again, remove that to .breezytesting.xyz. So this will create another website for us. Manage the domain name. In another video I'll teach you all about Cloudflare. So we'll type in 2 here for the toast, because that's, or for the host, not for the toast. 2, and then it'll be .breezytesting.xyz. Again, we'll just use the same IP address. We'll select 1 minute, so hopefully that will propagate faster. So that's us, a record 2, and then the value is the server IP address. So we'll go back to our server, and you can see now that there's 2 websites, so current sites. So there's 2 sites. So the main one, which is breezytesting.xyz, next one is going to be 2.breezytesting.xyz. So just on a subdomain, we'll view it, and then we can go straight over to it. And there it is. There's another WordPress install running on the on the same server as before. Install WordPress. Brilliant. There's our second WordPress installation. We'll actually just go directly to that website, and there we go. I know they look very similar there, but that's the base installation for WordPress. But yes, from here there's so much more you can do. Obviously in my other videos I teach you how to create a competition website, and you can import that so simply. I'm going to actually do another video just after this one, teaching you just how to import your website, just like I've shown in other videos. But anyway, thank you very much for making it to the end of the video, and we'll see you in the next one.